The date is May the 18th. The topic is life after high school for a public school graduate. This is Thomas, and we're going to have a very brief dialogue. Thomas, why don't you get us started by telling me what you found?
Okay, I just discovered that high school graduates are 5 times more likely to end up employed than dropouts. And it can determine the quality up for the next 50 years of the individual's life following graduation, as it can increase the income for up to $7,436 per year. And if you add that to college graduation, then that can increase up to almost $25,000 a year.
Okay, now, it looks like you have a lot more data, so don't give it all to me at the same time. First, tell me, where did you get this information?
www.dropoutprevention.org.
Okay. And did they give you a date for these statistics? Because statistics can change year to year.
The year is 2012.
Oh, that's good. Okay, those are nice and recent. Now, here's the thing. Did Dropout.org bother to mention that while those statistics are true, they are not true all the time? For example, if you get a bachelor's degree in psychology, social work, or any of the arts, you are only going to make $1,000 more than a high school graduate. Did they mention that?
No, it did not.
So sometimes they're presenting a picture that's not complete because, yes, it used to be true that you needed your high school diploma. But what we're finding is that increasingly more and more, a high school diploma is less and less valuable. You can get a GED. You have to have some documentation that you finished it, but it doesn't quite guarantee that security of life that it used to.
Well, the motivation of the site, there's going to be based on that, there's going to be bias.
That's true. They don't want people to drop out. Now, did they say what percentage of people across America were graduating?
It did not say that. It did not say that.
Okay, I can give you that number because we're going to talk about why we think that number is. Currently, according to the National Center of Educational Statistics, the most recent data is showing that America is graduating 81.5% of its population graduating from high school. Virginia is slightly higher than the national average, coming in at 84. However, there's another very interesting statistic that comes up right behind that. Though we're graduating more people than we ever have historically, ever. We've never had graduation rates this high. There's another sneaky number that comes in and says, but 60% of those people are not ready for either college or the workforce. So how useful, ultimately, is what kids are getting in high school?
Not very, because a lot of what they're getting in high school, it's handed to them basically, and it doesn't prepare them adequately for college. Because, think of it, even if they know all the subjects and stuff, they can have high scores for that, but at the same time, it doesn't exactly prepare them for what they have to put up with in college, with things like studying and all of that.
I mean, just kind of go back in your mind and think about your own experience. How many of your peers seem to know how to study? How many of them know how to go about conquering a subject that's difficult for them?
There's no way to tell because I have no idea how they handle it.
Okay. How do you? Do you feel as though you have study skills and you know how to tackle a subject that's difficult for you?
Yes.
Now, how did you learn that? Because I'm sorry, I don't believe that's something that's taught in school.
Trial and error.
See, you had to be...
different things.
Okay, so fortunately, you're someone who's got that motivation. Because if you didn't have that, I feel like you'd be going off really, really unprepared. Question, what do you want to do with your life? Do you know?
I'm going to go into the military, into the Army.
So you're going to go into the Army, but you can still do a job in the Army. What are you thinking about? What kind of... You're going to do intelligence? You're going to parachute out of planes? What do you see yourself doing?
I'm out there doing something fun.
So very outdoor, very hands-on, not a desk job.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you want to do. You know you want to get out. Let's think. What in high school has prepared you for that?
ROTC.
But that's the only thing, right?
PE also.
Okay, so ROTC and PE, but have your Englishes or your sciences or your histories, maybe history. If you're going to the military, typically you need to know a little bit about history.
Yeah, a little bit in all of them.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good. So you sound like you've gotten something out of your high school education. Because when we were talking with a slightly larger group, we realized that high school assumes that everybody wants to go to college. And so it tries to throw all this general knowledge at you in case you want to go to college. But what if you want to be a welder? I can't imagine that at the interview for a welding job, Someone's going to say, okay, Thomas, here's a deal breaker. If you can't quote William Blake, like, do you see? So why are we giving you these classes as though everyone has the same dreams?
It's more so to keep your options open, because you might think you want it then, and then when you get there, it turns into crap. So you want to have a backup plan.
And I like what you're saying, because I think the people who put this on paper, that was their idea. The problem is that's not what's happening in society. What's happening is we have people who can't do anything. They, we've given them so much general information that they don't actually know how to do anything. And that's also not reflective of our society, which is, as it becomes more technological, it's becoming increasingly specialized. Like, do you go to the Pruden Center? Were you ever in the Pruden Center?
I did one of the aptitude things there last year.
Okay.
It didn't take.
But take someone like who goes to Pruden. Well, you have to get various certifications. And the thing is, once you get that certification, you're only certified for that thing. So if you want to switch up jobs, you get, 5, 6, 7 certifications. So the idea that there's this general pool of knowledge that qualifies you and gives you a backup plan is no longer even true, because our society has changed so much to become increasingly specialized. Okay, thank you. Oh, was there anything else you wanted? Because I know you didn't get through all your information. Was there anything else from your information you wanted to say?
Oh, no, that covers the main part of it.
Okay, thanks, Thomas.